First things first, I am seriously floored with your support and how much you have resonated with what this message is about churchianity and just how a lot of the modern churches have been susceptible to social justice and other spiritual ills which have actually hurt the church in the last, 50, 100 years or so. This is a very, very important topic, and it's been weighing heavy on me for a lot of years. So seeing this launch to my best launch ever as a typically science fiction and fantasy writer and comic book writer was honestly surprising to me. I had no clue how well this would do. This was a risk in spending time on this and actually getting this going, and it's definitely done very, very well. And I hope this message does reach the right people who need to hear it and need to return to tradition and embrace, embrace the past and embrace what the church has been for thousands of years. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Again, thank you so much for this. I'm floored, as you can tell. I barely have the words because of how well this has gone in its first day of launch. Now, my name's John Delarose, and I've been fighting the culture war for really since 2016. I came out as a Trump supporter in science fiction and fantasy. I was writing for different RPGs. And actually wrote a tie-in game for an app mobile game, which was a really great selling science fiction novel, and then got canceled because I posted myself in a Trump hat on Election Day, happy, and the industry did not like that, and so that was the end of that. And as such, I've of course become just a fighter in the culture war, trying to stand for Christian values, stand for conservative values, and of course I've been doing that in the field of pop culture and science fiction all this time. If you can head to my Amazon bio, I've got 20 plus books, most of them science fiction and fantasy and comic books and the like. I've got a web store, if you don't like Amazon, too, with a lot of those books on there. And then I've been writing a lot of journalism over the years, too. I started with The Federalist, worked for PJ Media, worked for Milo Yiannopoulos, worked for Bounding Into Comics, and started my own deal called Fandom Pulse, where I've been, of course, covering a lot of the ills that are going on with social justice in pop culture. And so nonfiction writing's really come naturally to me in a lot of ways, but I had no idea, again, when I did a long-form book, how this would do or anything like that, and it's been crazy to watch this take off. And I appreciate everybody who's, of course, shouted this out. Jack Posobiec, really appreciate it. Joshua Lysek, to you, Megan Fox, of course, the law tuber. Big shout-outs out there. And, of course, Vox Day, who wrote the foreword, did a lot for me as well. So this is where we are right now. And if you don't know what happened, earlier this year, we were a part of a movement because of last year's craziness with video games. And as I've been talking about pop culture and its descent into social justice, this all kind of ties in. I was leading the charge against a lot of ills in the video game industry. And around around January, February, YouTube changed its algorithm to kind of suppress anti-woke content. And what happened was my channel got hit. A lot of the influencers out there, Smash JT's got hit, Hypnotic got hit, Yellow Flash got hit. Like everybody who basically has anti-establishment content got their channel like nuked by at least 50% in views. And it ended up being on the user end. So as we researched into this, and I talked a lot with Clownfish TV, who did a lot of good research to it. Great channel over there. If you guys don't follow them, I recommend it. And they talked about how the user end was actually hit, where it's actually on your end where they don't show you these videos anymore intentionally because they're trying to, of course, what they say is they want a positive environment now, not a negative environment. And so because of that, they have a excuse basically to suppress reach. Now, this is a soft shadow ban that is hard censorship for everybody. Now, as this was going on, a lot of the people panicked because they put all of their stock into YouTube. And so people like Smash JT, Hypnotic went out and started to try to cancel Christian creators within the space. And Christians who were trying to change the culture for something else, because if you look, social justice, the left and all that is very anti-Christianity. Their values are very worldly. It's about take this gross fetish, transgenderism, LGBT, whatever it is, and let's plaster it everywhere and make sure all the kids are influenced by it, right? And so that's the opposite of Christianity. So Christianity really proves to be a good reprieve from all of that. Well, a lot of these guys in there, like Smash JT and et cetera, Madame Savvy, are actual leftists who are not actually on the right. They're not Christians, obviously. And so they decided to go around and cancel and just run mobs against anybody who was doing this from a Christian perspective. So they came hard at me. They came hard at John Trent, who used to run Bounding Into Comics and now works for Phantom Pulse as well. They came hard at Melanie Mack. They came hard at Razor Fist because anybody who's actually talking about real values was kind of a threat to them, and they felt like their grift wasn't working anymore, which it wasn't. But it was all because of algorithmic things. And so what they did was attack all these people hard to try to consolidate that video game base to their group. And so it didn't work very well, but they did it, and that was kind of the onus. They were afraid, and a lot of this stuff, cancel culture always happens because of fear, right? Because of fear of somebody intelligent, because of fear of losing things, and a lot of these people, like I said, they don't stand for anything. And we found out very early on this year that these people really didn't care about anything. And in fact, I think a lot of them were paid by different video game companies because I saw just a complete hypocrisy in the way they treated certain games versus other games. Of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows was a big one, where they turned Samurai into a gay black dude, and it was cringy, and everybody went on top of that, right? But then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 came out, and they turned the character into a homosexual and actually had graphic gay sex scenes and the like, and they actually called the characters in the game before they updated with a patch because of the pressure we put onto them. But the game showed that they were 15 years old, and so it was disgusting. It was underage gay sex, and it was being pushed by this company. Now, I researched into it, found out the company was bought by Embracer Group, who's a giant group that's owned by big hedge funds and the like. And so they were definitely pushing the DEI agenda. It came out much later, again, also, that they hired DEI consultants, much like Sweet Baby Inc. and the like, that all of these YouTube grifters were calling out before. But all of these people were saying this game was great and not woke. And I'm like, what's going on? So, of course, they went at me over that and then attacked me personally over that. The video game creator actually went out and attacked me personally, libeled me on X and the like, and all of these people ran with it instead of actually doing the diligence of what the game was about and the like. And it was all because they wanted to consolidate and make an anti-Christian wave with what they're doing. And like I said, they've all come out as left-wing activists. I had Smash JT on the channel. He starts ranting about racism and anti-Semitism like he's a nutjob blue-haired person. I asked him about his politics. He said, my politics don't matter, afraid to talk about it. I'm very not afraid to talk about it. Just tell the truth, and it's easy. I mean, if you don't have anything to hide, there's nothing to hide. But he knows if he actually came out as a California leftist, which is what he is, he'd have problems with his audience. Same thing happened with Grums on X. Grums is a leftist out there as well and does not really push this stuff. Now, Grums did not engage in the cancel mob, so I don't have any ill will towards him, but he is on the left, and he'll tell you such, but doesn't like to talk about it. And then Madame Savvy, who's been propped up by a lot of these people, is an extreme leftist and a pornographer. She actually makes her living, she says, by drawing porn and getting commissions for that. And so this is the great moral group that was supposed to fight the leftist group that basically is spurred on by pornography, and turns out they were just a bunch of porn addicts and leftists themselves. And so, of course, they got pushed pretty big with the algorithm last year because these big tech companies love to have controlled opposition out there, and they don't want real messages like this kind of thing to get out. So as this comes out, I was promoting it very, very hard yesterday, going on X, and it worked. I posted the book everywhere I possibly could, and I really wanted this to go. And I work very, very hard. When a book release comes out, you'll see me for days. I go very, very hard on this. And by the way, Churchianity is available right now. It's in the description below. It's available on ebook and paperback. We're working on an audio edition right now. I have a new guy working on audio, and he's awesome, so I'm excited for that. And this is a #1 bestseller in religious philosophy. It's It's actually in a couple different categories. It's also a #1 bestseller in Christian ministry and church leadership, which is awesome. So thank you guys for reading so far. But this is about modernism. This is about equivocating on values and just what it does and how it tears down institutions and it destroys people's souls. And that does tie into the whole video game situation, which they didn't stand for anything. They watered down the message, and it's not about actually doing anything. It's just about whatever's best for their algorithm at the moment, right? So that they can get more YouTube clicks. And that's what's happening here at the moment, as they got very, very mad at me for promoting my book yesterday. It started with Madame Savvy, who is quite the deranged person. Like I said, I don't know what's wrong. She says she's autistic and the like. Maybe that's the case. So I'll give her some grace on that. But you can just see how angry she is. I posted to Kaida here, who is another non won't take a stand on anything. Just says whatever's popular with the algorithm at the time type of YouTuber. I said, I'm exposing modernism in a way more important way. Let me know if you guys would like review copies. And I think that's, I don't know what's wrong with that. Like, it'd be good if Kaida would read this, I think. So, good stuff. So, Savvy says, you do this under someone else's tweet like an effing spam account. Shill. Dude, it's one thing to crawl into everyone's DMs because you're that effing desperate. But F this behavior. You see how unhinged this is? This is nuts. And this woman has a lot of simps, and that's the thing. Like, these ladies put on filters. There's a fake look, too. And then they go out there and they get all these, sort of like low-status males to just pile on because they have the simps. And she sells pornography. She's basically an OnlyFans whore who just got on a video game grift during this sort of thing. It's very, very sad. And you can see just how crazy she acts with this. I just said, I guess she doesn't want a review copy of my book, but it'd be nice. She probably should read it. In fact, it might be people who agree with you would see this as pathetic behavior. In fact, who knows if she'd agree with me, because I don't think she reads. Now, you are an absolute effing waste of space who takes joy in, by your own admission, causing someone to commit suicide. I don't know where that's the case, but I've never caused anybody to commit suicide. But if she thinks I have that power, wow! This is pretty wild. You have effing police report that seems to say you beat women. Now, again, you see how she phrases this, because she knows that I will sue her for libel. Because that's pretty liable, pretty libelous right there. And, of course, I've never done anything like that. So this is crazy as well. And don't know the meaning of no because you can't even respect a woman saying, stop using my profile picture. I don't know. Again, I just have my cartoon avatar that actually was drawn for me by a comic book artist. I don't know. So weird. F, you wouldn't even unfollow me after I asked you to for a solid month. Yeah, and this is something interesting is all these people like echo chambers, and these are people who shout free speech, right? This is their whole deal. Free speech, I'm anti-censorship, right? It doesn't mean anything. In fact, they do want censorship. In fact, she blocked me after posting this. And I do follow people I don't agree with because I want to see perspectives. This is why I'm a number one philosopher at this point, because I look at different perspectives, both to hone my own argument and to challenge myself, because sometimes I might be wrong about something. Sometimes just because I don't agree with her on her pornography stuff doesn't mean other stuff she's doing is completely wrong either. This is where a lot of like really unintelligent people are very binary thinkers, right? A lot of people will get mad at me because I like Madame Savvy, she good, and because they're not listening to what I'm actually saying at this point, they'll have a binary opinion, right, about this sort of thing. But you see, she's swearing, she's out of control. This is just nasty behavior online, and people shouldn't act like this. So that's why I follow people who I don't necessarily agree with. I follow Gavin Newsom. Geez, I want to see what he's saying. It's important stuff. Like this is where the online discourse has gotten very, very bad, and these echo chambers are very toxic. And it doesn't it always seems to be this like rampant leftist libertarian or leftist groups that cause this kind of thing. And again, she's doing the exact same thing they do all the time. You know why no one wants your S? Well, yeah, she keeps saying this. Okay. Because you are an insufferable POS who even went after your own friend. Master of the TDS stood up for you, but when I said he shouldn't, he tried to get involved in the S between us, and I told him to drop it, that you were a piece of S. He defended you, and look what happened in the end. Now, unfortunately, that guy went out and attacked me on her behalf. It was the same thing. I didn't realize he was going to do that, and I haven't said anything really about him, but he makes posts just like this about me very regularly. Very sad. You lived up to what I said would happen because you're a predictable piece of garbage. Is this an actual savvy crash out? Probably. So she at least admits she's crashing out. But seeing you do this to Kali Too Short is honestly the last straw for you. Remember what I, quote, did is say, hey, would you like a review copy of my book? I was going to give him a free copy. Jeez. You are so GD pathetic that you wished me happy birthday under 2 separate posts for desperate for attention. Now look at this. I said happy birthday on her birthday because I'm desperate for it. What is she mad about? That's insane. Like, this is not something a normal person gets upset about. And these are the people being hailed as like the gaming, whatever. It's an online clique at this point that doesn't stand for anything. And this is what they stand for. A bunch of swearing, unhinged rants. You said happy birthday to me. You're a bad person. That's bizarre. And so very sad. This is all a crash out because obviously they know this is the thing. They know I've got the truth on my side. They know I've got depth. They know I've got intellect that's actually going on here. And I don't want to toot my horn too much. You can read the book and tell me what you think about it. And if you don't like it, that's fine too. But they don't really have much other than whatever the algorithm is of the moment. And they know that. They know it's an empty promise, right? And that's where it goes. And there's more of it here. This came from Packer Girl. Packer Girl works for Bounding Into Comics, and this is where it all stems from. And all these people got outraged because there's a bunch of DM groups and things like that from Bounding Into Comics, which is where I used to write for articles and the like, and John Trent used to also write. And these employees of Bounding Into Comics are known for doing these backroom DMs and trying to stir up drama and controversy, and unfortunately, people like Madame Savvy fell for it. And so this is where she's trying to go off on this. She was the one who exposed JDA as a furry grifter. They keep saying that too. I'm not a furry. It's ridiculous. Calls me Del Mercante, trying to tie me to Alyssa Mercante, which doesn't make any sense either because, again, Alyssa Mercante was an OnlyFans, person. So she has a lot more in common with Madame Savvy than she ever would have with me. When you use rhetoric terms like this, you got to actually do something. That's why it doesn't stick very well. But this all comes from Bounding Into Comics employees. They've been pushing a lot of the libelous stuff, furry, and then this lady saying I'm allegedly beating women and the like. This all came from libel that was spread from Bounding Into Comics employees, and they're very, very mad. What happened with Bounding Into Comics that caused this is John Trent left the company back in 2023, I believe, and he saw they were censoring his articles, and he said, "I'm not going to be censored." Which is ironic because again, these are people who are like, "We're anti-censorship," and yet they're all standing for this company that censored somebody because of his Christian beliefs and what he was saying Christian-wise. I tried to stay on, and I was like, okay, well, maybe it's not that bad, and I know how to play the game. I'm on YouTube after all, and of course, I found out they were censoring my articles too. They were not publishing them, and so I left. And so they got very, very mad because we started Fandom Pulse, and Fandom Pulse now is actually where Bounding Into Comics used to get millions of views per month. John Trent, I think, at its peak did about 4 million views. And now they're down to less than 200,000 a month. And so the employees there are all panicking, and they're trying to cancel me constantly and posting stuff like this constantly. It's very, very sad what's going on here. Finally, we have Epic Mike from Geeks and Gamers, who kind of surrounds these types of people. I don't know anything about this guy. I've never interacted with him on that, but he's going ballistic about my book. And he just takes my book from my account and actually goes crazy. An unfinished, poorly painted cross. Okay, so this is just a artistic expression of a cross, like with a kind of a paintbrush. I'm not a great physical artist. I'll be the first to agree with that. That's not my forte. I think I did pretty good on this cover. I think it works well for what it is. It's supposed to be pretty plain because the message is what's supposed to stand out, not anything else. And this is pretty interesting. So, and it shows this guy is not a Christian, doesn't even understand even the imagery of this. Splayed with a catchy and marketable word, red, a mockery of the blood of Christ shed on the cross for the sins of humanity. Red. So red usually means stop or bad, and that's what I was thinking with it because when you have something that's red, it is like kind of typically a not great thing. And so I wanted to show that churchianity is a warning. This whole book's a warning. So it doesn't make any sense. I don't know what he's doing. It's a mockery of the blood of Christ. Okay, well, I mean, like I said, I don't even think this guy's a Christian, which is usual with this type of thing. The blood covers multitude of sins, just a tool to sell. Okay. So he's mad that I put a title on a book cover, basically. And if you look at any of the other number one best-selling sort of Christian books, Christian ministry, church leadership, you can see we've got Martin Luther on here. We've got a church with a cross on it, Jesus and the Powers. So like I guess this one's red, Martin Luther in red. Is that a mockery? I don't know. Thomas Cromwell, another cross, another cross, another cross. So it looks like cross is a typical theme to alert you, and this is what a book cover is supposed to do, that this is a Christian book, right? I mean, these people are insane. It's like, your book shouldn't have a cover. You should just have nothing. It's like this is what they're going on about. Wild. His name in bold red letters at the base of the cross, portraying himself as the savior of the church. Now, I don't understand how letters at the foot of the cross portrays myself as the savior. If anything, like if I put my name maybe on the cross, it would, that'd be kind of weird. But that wouldn't work out. That's why I put the regular title there. But if anything, like symbolically, which I didn't do anything, there was no intention of anything symbolically on this. I just put my name at the bottom because I wrote the book, like a normal, like every other book. At the foot of the cross would mean I'm studying and sitting and actually kneeling at the feet of Christ, right? So that doesn't portray myself as if, this guy just clearly doesn't even understand metaphors, even though he's attempting to make one. Very bizarre. The last true warrior championing a holy war for the Prince of Peace. Yes, by John's book, it would justify is faith to him. I think he means his faith to him. No, nothing you say or one way or another justifies my faith or not. It's not about the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. His faith is in the almighty dollar. It is true God. He treasures nothing more than the praises of man and the dollars they earn. This is interesting because they always say this, that I'm chasing clout or I'm trying to grift off this stuff. If I was grifting, the popular opinion and then would be going with that crowd earlier this year and saying, you know what? Freedom of speech is everything. I'm not going to oppose pornography. Opposing pornography is very, very, very controversial because there's so many people addicted to pornography, and obviously it showed that these people were like that. I would have tried to just ape what they were saying to fit in with the crowd, and that's what a lot of people did, and that's actually what Epic Mike does. Which this is classic projecting right here. They want to worship that dollar or whatever, and I don't care whether. I say something controversial that's true, and it's something that loses me followers or whatever. It's fine, on my opinion, to do that because I want to tell the truth. My importance is the culture war and the truth. I don't care. This is going to be a book that's very controversial, and it's very poignant, and it's going to upset some people who are going to feel like they're attacked by this, even though there's no personal attacks or anything, because a lot of people don't want to move. When they're engaged in something that's not good. And the whole mega church situations and all that is not a good thing for Christianity. And so a lot of people are going to get upset by that, and that's fine. And I don't care. I'm willing to take those slings and arrows because telling the truth is more important to me than the dollar, which is unfortunately what these guys do not understand. Now, they'll sell their souls for a few thousand views. That's the craziest part about all this. And Epic Mike, if you want to have a debate on churchianity and actually talk about the substance of the book, I'm happy to talk to you about it. But as you can tell, he doesn't even pay attention to the substance of the book. Not even, I've got an Amazon description about what it's all about, and he has no idea what it's about. He just talks about red letters like red letters is a bad thing. They just stand out in thumbnail size. That was my purpose, right? Ridiculous stuff. But this is how crazy these people go, these influencers go, and how much, as you can see, it's a coordinated mob, starting with the Bounding Into Comics crew and with these Smash JT orbiters and these Geeks and Gamers orbiters who really want to cancel Christians for some reason. And I don't understand that. It's not just me. There's a lot going on where they just attack Christians. It seems like they're very, very angry. And I can make a presumption there that, perhaps they know they're missing something that's truthful, that's good, that's true, that they need to, of course, change their ways, and that really upsets them. But I'm not going to be scared by it. I don't care if they attack me or whatnot. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep telling the truth, and you can count on me to do so here, my friends. So thank you for being here. And guys, despite, look at this pressure, all the pressure from giant influencers. These are people that get tens of thousands of YouTube followers and the like, and they're much bigger accounts than I am on X, And at the same time, we're still getting the message through. And that's the power of Christ's message right there, right there. It has nothing to do with me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for reading this, guys. And it is in the description below. I've got a bunch of links to, got a newsletter. I've got Discord if you guys want to hang out. I would love to meet some of you guys. I love interacting. And thanks for being here. And thank you guys so much again. This is just incredible. And I'm floored at just how, despite the pressure, despite the cancel culture, this is a message that resonates. And I think that's a very positive thing. So as much as it's negative that these people are attacking, the white pill is that it doesn't matter. We are going to win because we've already won, my friends. And it's a beautiful thing. Thanks again.